A very good evening to all of you. I hope you're having a good Sunday evening today. We're coming to you live from Qatar from the FIFA World Cup, where we've seen the quarterfinal stage come to an end. Now we know our four semi-finalists. The four semi-finalists are going to be Argentina, Croatia, and on the other side you are going to have France and Morocco. But in this particular video, let's talk about the two games that just got over yesterday. The one that featured Morocco and of Portugal, and the other that featured England and France. I'll try and take a few of your questions as well as I do this live. But let's start with the earlier game, the Morocco versus Portugal game. Big upset that we've seen in this World Cup. I think we've had two major upsets, all courtesy this Moroccan team. People were a bit surprised when they were playing in the group stages. They topped the group stage, and people were a bit surprised that, listen, how is it that they've beaten a team like Belgium? Many thought that that may have been a flash in the pan for Morocco, but no, they upset another European giant in the round of 16. That was Spain, and this is the third casualty that has happened in this World Cup, courtesy Morocco, another big European team in Portugal, one of the favorites to have won the tournament, also knocked out courtesy this Morocco team. So, what's really worked for Morocco? Firstly, let me just tell you, it's been a lot of celebration here that we're witnessing in Doha because of the Moroccan win. Because out of all the fans that you come across here, yes, there are a lot of Argentinian fans, a lot of English fans that we've met, Brazilian fans, but nothing compares to the amount of Moroccan fans that you encounter here in Doha. Maximum fans for any nationality that you see here are Moroccan fans, and quite obviously there are two reasons behind that. One, because Morocco isn't too far away from here, so proximity, close, so people can come here and watch and support their team. Secondly, the local population and in and around Qatar, the Arab world, is also supporting Morocco because, they even though Morocco is an African country, they consider it part of the Arab world because Arabic is the first language that is spoken in Morocco, and it is the first Islamic country effectively to reach the semi-final of a World Cup. So all those things taken into account, they're getting a lot of local support from, from UAE, from Qatar, from Bahrain, from Oman, all these neighboring countries, from Yemen, the Arabic countries, all of them have come out and supported Morocco. So even that population is wearing Moroccan shirts and really celebrating Morocco's victory. So a lot of support for Morocco, and then they've been very good. As I said, not flash in the pans, consistent performances. One thing that you knew about this Moroccan team, and we had been telling you in our analysis before this, was that they are going to have a rock solid defense. It's going to be very difficult to find gaps against that defense, very difficult to score against that defense, and that's exactly how the tournament has panned out. If you take a look at the goals conceded, they've only conceded one goal, and that was also an error. It was an own goal. So they've not allowed a single team in this entire competition, the three games that they played in the group stage, then the round of 16, then the quarterfinal, 5 games in all, and they have not conceded a goal to the opposition. Only one self-goal. That just tells you how good the Moroccan backline is. And yesterday, one thing that was on display was their spirit, because 3 of their top defenders were not playing in the game yesterday, including their captain that only played partially, Roman Size, and was injured and then removed. Despite him not being there, despite their 2 big defenders from West Ham as well as Bayern Munich not being there, yet that's the kind of performance that they put and didn't allow Portugal to score, a team that had completely routed Switzerland. So, goal scoring form was not an issue with Portugal, but what Morocco has really shown is that, listen, if you've got a defense like the Moroccan team, then you can do the unthinkable, and that's what they have done so far. So that has been Morocco's journey. They're going to be up against a very tough team in France. Let's see how far they go. But, doesn't matter if they win that game or not. They've already created history. The first African team to make it this far in the tournament. You've had 3 other teams before this. Senegal made it to the quarterfinals. Ghana made it to the quarterfinals. Cameroon made it to the quarterfinals. But none of them could pass that quarterfinal hurdle as far as African teams are concerned. So first African team then to make it to the semi-final is great record and history already created. In terms of Portugal, plenty of question marks over Cristiano Ronaldo. There are 2 schools of thought. Many feel that maybe he should have started with Ronaldo. Then there is the other school of thought that maybe a Ronaldo wouldn't have made much of a difference considering the defense of Morocco. I mean, just look at Ronaldo, and I'm just going to look at his performance in this game. Of course, he's been listless through the tournament, got that penalty, which was very good, but he's been voted in the worst 11 of the year by a lot of media houses who've analyzed games very closely, which tells you that he wasn't on top of the game. So clearly, he's past his prime, and that's why the manager didn't start him. No manager would want to lose, so it cannot be an ego issue. The reason that he wasn't starting is because he wasn't in his prime. Yesterday he came in at the 51st minute, which is effectively half the game. So he got to play half the game. How effective was he in that remaining half of the game? Not quite. He had a total of 9 touches in that second half that he played, and out of those 9 touches that he had just one shot at goal, and that shot in itself wasn't powerful enough to beat a keeper like Bono. So is he as effective as he was many years ago? Maybe not. And maybe that's why I think the coach thought that the best way to use him would be to have him come on in the second half, because he may not last the 90 minutes, may not be at his peak in 90 minutes, but if you bring him for the second half or so, then he could be very, very productive. So I think that's how you look at Ronaldo's career. That's how he's played. Is it the end of Ronaldo in international football? We don't know. We've heard from Ronaldo himself. And he said that he wants to play the next Euro, that's in 2024. So maybe he wants to contribute more for the Portugal team. But the question will be, will the manager or the next manager that they have, will he want to have Ronaldo in his team? Will he select him? Secondly, he's already won a Euro with Portugal, so what will be his motivation? He's already won this trophy. I think World Cup was that one thing that he was looking for. That's not going to happen. Unlikely he'll play another World Cup. I mean, highly, highly unlikely. I don't think he will be there for the next World Cup. He's going to be 41 by that time. 37, you're raising questions. 41, will he be fit enough? I don't think so. Currently, his club future is not very certain, so we don't know whether, which club he's going to be playing for. He has an offer from Saudi, big multi-million-dollar offer, but I don't think he's taking that. So could go back to Portugal, you never know. Could go back to an Italian league and play. Yes, he was with Juventus, but I don't know, Napoli, somewhere. US could be another destination. So he's without a club right now. His national team future isn't looking good. So clearly not a tournament for Ronaldo to remember. Let's talk about the next game. Next game, I'd have to say England seemed like the better team. I think they were the better team. They created more chances than France. They managed to keep someone like Mbappe quiet for majority of the time. But they couldn't, Hugo Lloris was in top form, so that didn't help. And I think that missed penalty by Harry Kane, he's taken the blame for it. I kind of look at it slightly differently. I don't know what you guys think, but if I was Southgate, I would have probably got someone else to take that second penalty. And I'll tell you why. Hugo Lloris and Harry Kane are teammates. There are a lot of mind games that were happening between them. They know each other very well. First penalty he took, and he converted. I think that from there on, the next penalty, the pressure would have been there. It was at that time. And you also had, the crowd egging him on right from behind the keeper. Just to change things up against Hugo Lloris, maybe I would have looked at, as a manager, somebody else take that penalty. But again, I have the benefit of hindsight, so you could say it. Maybe because he had also converted against Hugo Lloris earlier on, maybe they thought that was the best option. But overall, I think Gareth Southgate, many other question marks would be there. Many thought that Grealish should have been used in this game. That's another question mark over his managership. The other, Shaka was the standout performer for England in the entire game. Why would you substitute him, your standout performer? I think he was a standout performer compared between both the teams, yet Southgate decided to sub him. That's going to be a question mark. So we don't know what the future of Southgate is with the English team, but if I were to ask my personal opinion, I think it's time for England to move forward, look ahead to another manager, because once again they've come close but not managed to lift a trophy. Disappointment against Croatia, semis loss last World Cup, Euro final loss to Italy, again a quarter-final loss here. I think he's taken them, Southgate, he's done a good job. It's a young team, so the team will remain, but I think Southgate has taken them as far as he could. And now maybe it's time for England to look at a foreign manager, a bigger name, a name that has won a lot of international trophies. Maybe that is something that they need to look at. I don't know, Louis van Gaal or Ancelotti or, I don't know, Arsene Wenger, uh, take various names, all of them not coming to my mind, but big performance coaches, big coaches that have managed for long times, have won major trophies. I think maybe a foreign coach, maybe it's time for England to look at that if they really want to get their hands on a trophy. So that would be the future for England, because much like the Indian cricket team, we keep talking about good team, great things, but the trophy is really not coming. Maybe it's time then for England to look in those certain ways and maybe look at a foreign manager. I think that could be the way for England to go. So yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles. Two big games coming up now in semi-finals, then the finals. So let's see how it pans out. For the moment, we're having a great time here in Qatar. Thanks so much for your company. Do keep sending us all your feedback, and we'll keep bringing you the latest updates from here. Next up, semi-finals, we'll have our eyes on that. For the moment, Nikhil Nas signing off from Doha, as I see a lot of Moroccan fans here behind me celebrating. Bye bye, see you. Vanakkam.